Okay, everyone, welcome to our One World Energy Encounter with the Zohar. This week's portion is Pekudei. We are in volume 13, verse 262, inviting in the lineage of the Rabban Karen, Rabbi Shlag Brandwein, the Ria Kodesh, the Ramchal, Rabbi Tarfon, Rabbi Ramazulai, Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Vitebsk, Rabbi Kolona Shapir Piasetzna, the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Shimon Bar Chai, and all the students, Rabbi Mordechai of Chernobyl, connecting with one soul with Yosef Tzaddik, Joseph the Righteous in Shechem. Also, today is the anniversary of elevation of Rav Avram Gershon Kitover of Berad, a student of the Baal Shem Tov. I think he was also the brother-in-law of the Baal Shem Tov. So we have his assistance today. And as we connect to these verses, we want to have a consciousness of uniting the world, of channeling energy of healing for everyone we know who needs healing, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual healing. We want to also connect to the energy of ahavat chinam, unconditional love, treating everyone in the world with human decency under all circumstances, and also removing chaos and negativity from the world. Okay. We're going to go a little deep today for a change. Does anyone want to volunteer to read English for us today? Ellen, I see your hand there. Great. Okay, verse 262. Petach Rabbi Yehuda avatrei ve'amar soda shem lireav evrito lehodiam haikra ha'ukmuha aval soda shem lireav ha'u raza il'a de kama big nizu La kaima ela lereav, the inun the chalin the kuchabrichu tadir, the inun itchazun the inun razin ilain, ulemeheve inun razin ilain big nizu, uvistimu kadkayaot. Begin the inun razin ilain. Aval uvrito lehodiam, raza de ihu kaima bivrit kayama, lehodiam. Begin the ihu atar the kaima legala laminda. Before you start reading, Ellen, just for some context. So, in the previous week's portion and this week's portion, there's a lot of discussion of what the children of Israel were doing in the desert, and specifically, they built a tabernacle, and the details of how the tabernacle was constructed and the actual pieces that went into the tabernacle and its design. Great. I mean, if you're in architecture, it's probably pretty interesting. And not only that, but a lot of detailed information about the clothes that the high priest wore. So it's like a cross between like a fashion show and an intro to that period type of architecture. Is that what this is about? Can this be about the history of what was going on? And of course, the tribes going through the desert. I mean, what relevance could this possibly have to our lives? We're not in a desert, there are no priests, and there is no tabernacle. So who are we kidding? End the class, let's move on. Of course, that's not what it's about. See, of course, it's not what it's about. If it doesn't have present moment relevance, if we don't see the present moment relevance, we are missing the boat entirely. So this is just a bunch of context. It has present moment relevance. Each of those pieces of the tabernacle is a specific channel for a specific type of energy, as are the clothing that the priest wore. So we're not going to get into that today. We're also not going to get into what was it like for the tribes going through the desert. I'm not going to really get into that. But here we are marching towards the holiday of Passover, which is a little over 2 weeks from now, 2.5 weeks. So if you don't think we're marching through the desert, we are right now. And what the holiday of Passover gives us the opportunity to do, and I just want to say share a couple of thoughts about that, very simply. It's not about all these traditional foods and the gefilte fish that grandma used to make that we're still making. It's not about that. It's literally about crushing our egos. It's literally about crushing our body consciousness. Oh, this one treats me this way. Oh, I have this terrible situation. Oh, I have this negativity. I'm not getting the proper recognition at work. Your soul doesn't care about that. Your soul knows it has to navigate that, but your soul isn't upset about it. Body consciousness gets upset about it. And so we live in a realm where we don't see the light of the Creator. But the light of the Creator is here and shows up in differentiated ways, in different windows of opportunity that present themselves. And so Passover, the unique window and opportunity that Passover is it gives us the ability to crush our egos. Every bite of matzah you take, listen, let's face it, fresh baked bread tastes a lot better. This is master the obvious. It's significantly better. So why are we torturing ourselves? We're not. We're crushing our ego. We're doing the opposite. We're crushing our ego and manifesting the best version of ourselves. Which brings us to today's connection. So there are other things. It's not like the Creator left us here on our own devices without any assistance. It's like, those realities, it seems like an endless shows about surviving something, those reality shows. We're just here, this is the reality show, reality. And we're left here without anything? Of course not. Of course not. There are plenty of opportunities for us to connect to the flawless universe, to connect to the energy of healing, to connect to the energy of soulmates in all our relationships, to connect to fulfillment in any area of our life where we just don't feel the fulfillment. It's there, but it's in potential. It's in the flawless universe. It's in the upper realm. It's waiting to be revealed. Waiting for what? For us to get to the place where we need to be, for us to remove our blockages. And there's all kinds of tools to assist us. Passover is just one. The energy of Shabbat, which is coming in tonight, is another huge one that's there every week. By the way, if you have to ask yourself a question, what's more significant, the Sabbath or Passover? It's the Sabbath, hands down. Not even close. The opportunity that we're presented with, which is why the restrictions are more significant on the Sabbath. Those restrictions are geared towards us connecting to our soul. But Passover is really important. It's one of the big three. Okay. With that introduction, let's dive in. And I mean dive. If you inhale water when you go underwater, you may want to hold your nose right now. Go ahead, Ellen.
Rabbi Yehuda.
That's a metaphor. Go ahead.
Rabbi Yehuda then opened the discussion with the verse. The counsel, Prince secret of Hashem, is with them that fear him, and his covenant to make them know it. Okay, it's a verse from Psalms, Tehillim. Ellen. Yes.
What is the word for secret here? It's sod.
Sod.
Right.
Sod.
No, right. Okay. So it's being translated as counsel. The word is sod. Now, there's an old line. There's this idea that if you delve into the deeper teachings of Kabbalah, it's dangerous. It can be dangerous. It is this idea that it's dangerous. People are actually restrict themselves from studying Kabbalah because they've been taught it's dangerous. Now, I, as your tour guide here, don't worry, we'll avoid the dangers. But for some, it is dangerous. You wouldn't be here right now if it was dangerous for you. I'm just saying. For some people, it might be dangerous. There's a lot of restrictions. We are in volume 13, paragraph 262. And the restrictions have an abbreviation known as Pardes, which means the orchard. And Pardes is, in the Hebrew letters, Pei, Resh, Daled, Samach, Pardes. And there are 4 levels of depth of consciousness. In English, it would be PRDS, Pardes, without the vowels. So the P in Pardes is pshat. It's like literal. A lot of things are literal. Nothing in the Bible is supposed to be taken literally. I mean, you take it literally, but there's depth to everything. The Zohar unpacks that for us. The Zohar is about to unpack for us this verse from Psalms, a message that King David is sharing with us today. And so within Pardes, the last letter is the Samach. It's Sod. That's what we're talking about here. When you are studying Kabbalah, you're at Sod. By the way, the middle two letters, R is for Remez, it's hints. And then the D, the Dal is for it's a little bit more beyond hints. It's like some kind of ability to just unearth certain ideas. But Sod is the deepest. It literally is secrets. So we're tapping into the secrets. And what does this verse say? The secrets are with those that fear the Creator. So what we're supposed to be running around and hiding in the closet, lying down in the fetal position in the corner, and then we'll get the secret. No, it's not that kind of fear. It's awe. It's just awe. When we see fear, we think awe within Kabbalistic circles. It's like, standing atop the Sears Tower and looking down and like, oh my God, look at all that space. I mean, it's kind of a mixture of fear and awe. That's what we're talking about. For me, I always think about standing at the southern rim of the Grand Canyon and looking at the canyon. It's the largest structure I've ever seen. Now you can look up at the sky right now, look from horizon to horizon, you're probably covering more, but this in terms of size, but there's no frame of reference, so it's meaningless. But when you stand in the Grand Canyon, there's actually a frame of reference there. It dwarfs the New York City skyline. It's not even close. It's huge. That to me is like awe. Like we look at a world around us, and we kind of take it for granted. What is this? And what are we doing here?
What does the Samach mean again?
Sod. That's in the verse, it's the first word. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth word in the Aramaic there. Sod.
So do you think the word Yisod is sod? Is that a connection there?
It's different.
Okay.
All right, let's continue.
David, I have a question.
Yes.
So secret is also Raza, like Raza de Ahad. So what's the difference between Raza and Sod?
Well, Raza is like, Raza.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question. Let's talk. Let's take that one up offline. Maybe I can figure it out. Okay, Ellen.
It means that this sublime secret is stored and available only for them that fear him, who fear the Holy One. Blessed be he. He always.
Okay, so is it like you got to be in awe to see the secrets? And when you're in awe, you're appreciating things from a greater perspective. This is how we want to be going through life. In awe of everything going on, not freaked, not fearful. Your ego is fearful. When you're experiencing fear, it's like it's ego, it's body consciousness. I might get hurt. I mean, you might, but I'm just saying, like, the universe doesn't have to slap you on the side of the head if you're already present to the significance of the things that are going on. You don't need to know why, you just have to know that they're significant. It's like we always need to take a step back and look at our life in a deeper way. Everything that's happening is significant. The messages are coming constantly. Why doesn't the Holy One just send me an email or just forget an email, that's a lot, or just drop me a text, simple text. Make a left at the next corner. Avoid the fish, order the salad. I mean, just little things like that. Why can't we get those little tips? We are getting them 24/7. This is our encounter with reality. There isn't anything that you're experiencing at the present moment that isn't the light of the Creator. Everything that's happening is a message from the universe. Everything we encounter is a message. So if you're looking at it like that, well, now you're open to seeing the sublime, the things that are hidden. I think of Sublime and I think of the rock band, sorry. But anyhow, we are more open to seeing the things that are hidden. And so this is what we are connecting to here. We are getting a wake-up call to being more aware of the significance going on. You are in constant communication with the Creator. Something happened to me this morning is kind of an oddball thing, but now I think it's a little bit more significant. I was in the middle of my morning connection. I went to pick up my phone because I was looking for a message. And then I'm like, if I'm in the middle of my morning connection, I'm having a conversation with the Creator. So if I pick up my phone and at a certain level, I'm saying my message is more important than my conversation with the Creator, right? I mean, I'm sitting here. This is really important. My phone rings. I'm not answering it. This is more important than pretty much any call I get. So if I'm engaged in my morning connection in a conversation with the Creator, then there's nothing important that's going on my phone. Yeah, I know, but there's people that are waiting for responses. So like, isn't that important? Well, who do you think that message is really coming from? Your boss or the Creator or the light of the Creator? It's coming from the Creator. It's coming through your boss or your associate at work or your family member. It's coming through them, but they're just the channel. The message is coming from the Creator. So when you are engaged in direct interaction with the Creator, make the best of it. And that is like, during prayer, during meditation, during morning connection, whatever. That's the priority. Roshan, did you raise your hand or are we just straightening out your headset? Okay. Okay, let's continue.
Okay. They are worthy of these sublime secrets to keep them, which are hidden and concealed, being supernal mysteries.
So what does it mean we're worthy? We're worthy when we are working on our consciousness and developing a deeper awareness of what is going on around us. And so that is the opportunity that this particular Zohar presents us with. Along the lines of everything that happens is significant, and everything that we come across in the Bible is significant, and everything that comes across in the Zohar is significant. Do we always merit to see it? You can merit to see it and not see it yet. Because there's like this whole delay thing going on in the physical realm. The spiritual realm, there's no delay. It's not necessary. Here, there's a delay. So we need to restrict and give an opportunity to invite the light in. Go ahead.
But the secret of and his covenant to make them know it is that it refers to the Holy Covenant, to make them know it as this place may be revealed and known.
And so just emphasizing the covenant is the relationship that we have with the Creator. Like we made a deal, like a contract. It's not written and it doesn't have specific terms, but like we came here to do specific work. And so the more we acknowledge that we're here for specific work, and the more we ask for assistance on the journey, the more is revealed to us. Everyone, any questions?
I have one. Yeah, I have a quick question, and that
Yeah.
is, so if we're getting messages from the Creator all the time, every second, so to speak. We can't have ordinary conversations in an ordinary way. If you think about it, because everything we say could be a reaction to something that's not actually, I don't know how to put this, it's not really in our reality, it's in our imagination.
Well,
Or is that true or not? I mean, it seems like it from what you're saying.
it's like we're in two worlds at one time. We're in the physical realm, representing 1% of reality, and we're in the 99%, representing the rest of reality. We have to navigate physicality. Well, the minute we like put on this bodysuit, we locked and loaded physicality, and it is overwhelming. The steak just tastes so good. That's the line. That's a line from also movie. Yeah, the steak just tastes so good. We are overwhelmed by physicality, both in body and in mind. But your soul is there. We have to work to make that soul connection. So in the context of everyday things, interacting with people, on the one hand, I need to show up as my physical self, but I want to be present to what's going on in the other 99%. Because someone walking by you, you don't even know, you're getting on the elevator, they're getting off, and you hear them having a conversation with someone, they're not thinking the message is for you, but it was for you. And that's the accidental conversation. You didn't even have a conversation, let alone the conversations that we're actually having. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Ellen, do you have a question?
Well, I have something, in this this section when we're talking about counsel and secret. So I'm reading English. So, which is, English can have different connotations than, and so I looked up the word counsel, and COUNSEL, advice, especially that's given formally with wise counsel. So this is
Not too far, is it?
It really,
It's not too far. Look, language is imprecise, which is what we're going to have a dream and try to explain to somebody. Good luck. Now, if we're at the same concert, and it's a crazy experience, and we have all these common frames of reference, the language is limited, and especially a translation. And I don't believe there's any translator bias here because we know the translator, but with a lot of things, primary texts that are translated, there's translator bias. That's a real thing. just FYI. Let's continue though, because there's so much more here.
Okay, your turn.
My turn. 263. Tu soda shem l'reyav. The inun razin de kaiman b'dchilu. The inun dachale chata'a dachalin behu. The inun razin ilain. Aval uvrito lohodiam. Leminda lefarsha milin. Begin the inun milin de kaima lefarsha.
There is another explanation of the counsel or secret of Hashem, as with them that fear him. These secrets have the aspect of fear. They who fear sin are afraid of these sublime mysteries.
And do not study them. That's a whole universe of people. I'm not at the level where I am comfortable doing that. Go ahead. I'm not saying me, but that's what there's plenty of people who are there. So they really probably don't merit to study it. Go ahead.
And his covenant to make them know it means that they may know and understand the things that will explain the secret.
They know, it's not like they don't know, but they're not going there. It's not for everybody. Some people like vanilla, some people like chocolate. I like chocolate. I mean, I eat vanilla too. I'm sick, I once had a conversation with someone who wanted to do some programming with me, but they wanted to control the agenda. And I said, look, you like vanilla, I like chocolate. We both like ice cream. I'm not willing to do a swirl. You're going to dilute the impact of what I do. I can't do that. It's not who we are. And it's not just a metaphor. You're here to show up as the full package, as the best version of who you are. Water that down at your own peril. Show up as less than your completely authentic self is dangerous, frankly, to your soul, to the mission you came here to carry out. 264. Tachazeh be'arbein utrein advav it galifin ama vitkayam v'kulu atar dishma kadisha kad mitztarfin v'salkim at voy le'ela v'nachtin latata mitatran itrin baba sitre alma yachil it kaima. Okay, here's where we go to like DEFCON 42. Go ahead.
Come and see the world, Malchut, has been engraved with and exists by 42 letters.
Anyone want to take a guess at what 42 letters we're talking about? The Ana B'Koach, exactly. What is the Ana B'Koach? There's a name, there are a lot of names that the Creator has. One of the names is 42 letters long. It's not like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's not like that. It's not, we don't pronounce it. It's not pronounced. Rab Nechunya ben Akana, who is a first century Kabbalist, took those 42 letters and wrote, let's call it a prayer, a meditation, called the Ana B'Koach. And the first letter, it's 42 words long. 7 lines, each line has 6 words. The first letter of each word is one of the letters of the 42 letter name. How nice, some little poetry. No, it's not, no, it's much more than that. And by the way, I know people will say that all the time. Say that, but they've never seen this. So it's just an example. They do know, they have access to the secrets, but they don't delve in. Like people say the Ana B'Koach all the time, but they don't understand the significance of what it represents, Kabbalistically. It's in the prayer books. It's in the Siddur, in multiple places. But they just kind of blow through it like they, without really stopping to know the significance. One of the things that our teachers have told us, if you want to know, I think actually Rabbi Schlag told this to Rob Brandwein, and maybe Rob Brandwein said it to Rob Berg. If you want to know what's important, just look at what nobody's paying attention to. Okay. What are the 42? What is the 42 letter name? Yeah, Ellen.
Covering the lights and holding them is engraving.
Okay, so in the line above that, our world is Malchut. Remember, there's 10 levels between where we are and where our consciousness, our ability to fathom reality ends. And we have varying levels of consciousness among those 10 levels. The one we're most present to is Malchut, number 10. It's the realm we live in, but it's an elevated aspect of the realm we live in because it's the spiritual realm that we encounter. So if you just think the world is physical, you're not encountering Malchut. If you understand that there's a lower realm and upper realm, well, Malchut is this aspect of the lower realm through which the upper realm enters or manifests, because this is the level of manifestation. So, what does it mean the world has been engraved and exists by the 40? What does it mean what's the difference between something that's engraved and printed? Stacey?
Well, so engraving is to remove material, but in the beginning of Sefer Yetzirah, it says that the Creator engraved upon the void. So it's even more interesting because it's the world of opposites, like upper realm to lower realm.
But let's stay in the lower realm for a second. What would it mean?
Engraved is just more
engraved What's that, Andrea?
Engraved is just more etched, where printing is just like
Etched,
on the
right.
surface.
So like
You remove.
printing, the ink's on top of the paper.
Yeah.
When something is engraved, the letters are in the paper. So that means that the letters are in our reality, holding it together. It's part of our reality. Hence, it's engraved with them and exists by them. You pull the 42 letters out and everything falls apart.
Yeah.
Andrea?
So the letter, when they do when they write the calligraphy on the Torah, it seems that they're more etched, right?
Well, because
It's
it's
not-
done, yeah, because it's done on parchment with a quill pen. Not a quill pen, it's a feather. It's etched in, it becomes part of it. Yes. Any other questions? Okay. Let's keep going.
Revealing them is existing, namely mochin that sustains that grade.
Okay, so what is a mochin? I always think of those little ice creams in the rice mochis. Mochin are, look, so much of this is difficult because of the limitations of language and trying to express these spiritual concepts. But look at mochin as parcels of energy. You know, in the movie The Matrix, when they show the Matrix, you see little letters floating down, right? It's this flow of energy. And you know, the Warshawski brothers were, I think they're now Warshawski sisters, but they were students of Kabbalah. They may still be, I don't know. But that helped to inform their science fiction. So mochin are parcels of energy. So when we're trying to connect to energy of blessings, it's energy in potential that we're trying to manifest. Okay.
They are all a crown for the holy name. For the name of 42 is the secret of the first three Sifarot, Keter, Chokhmah, and Binah, that are made a crown to Malchut, called name.
Okay, so it's called the name. What else are we going to call it? Some, you know, super metaphysical dynamic. Yeah, we call it that. But name, we call it a name. It's a 42-letter name. And as Rav Eshlag is telling us here, as he explains this part of the Zohar, it's the 42 is the secret of the first three Sfirot. The first three Sfirot are Keter, Chokhmah, Bina. Chokhmah is right column. That's why its image is reversed. I'm trying to do, but it's three. It's three columns. It's Keter, Chokhmah, Bina. They're the three that are hardest for us to literally conceive of, to wrap our heads around. They're elevated. Keter's the most difficult. And beyond, Keter's what we know we don't know. Although there are aspects that we do know. And what we know we don't know is above that. We have no concept of what's beyond that. So those are the three top, and we're down in number 10, Malchut. And the six that are in the middle represent Zeran Pin. So all the energy generally, Chokhmah is the source, really Keter is, but Chokhmah is the source. It has streams that go into Bina, which is the reservoir. And then the reservoir of blessings in potential, the world to come, even though it's there, it's really not the world to come, we express it that way, flows through the six Sfirot of Zeran Pin and ends up in manifestation. That's my executive summary of the Tree of Life. And it's important because the 42 letters that are here are giving us a connection to that upper realm, to the upper three Sfirot, the source of all fulfillment. That's why once upon a time when I was driving my teacher to O'Hare, and I had to pick him up somewhere in the North Shore that I was a little unfamiliar with, and I got a little lost. He started saying the Ana B'Koach because Shabbat Shalom, Peter, because chaos is what we experience in this realm. But the real reality is everything's in order. So when we're experiencing chaos, we connect to the 42-letter name through the Ana B'Koach, so we can remove chaos from our realm. That's what it's about. There's no chaos in the upper realm. Everything's just as it should be. The flawless universe. It's here where things start falling apart. All kinds of chaos. And when you're on this path, it's our responsibility to channel that for the world. We are receiving for the sake of sharing. We are mere channels of energy from the flawless universe and manifesting it into our realm. We benefit from that, but that's, tangential. If we only have a desire to receive, then we're very limited in what we can receive. Even though it might look like people with a huge desire to receive are amassing a ton of materiality. That may be the way it looks, because they are amassing a lot of materiality, but that's an illusion. All right, one of the funny things is think about someone's worth is expressed in numbers. It's a 1 followed by 0, literally 0, just adding more zeros. It's an illusion. Yeah, there's a lot of energy there. That's true. That can make a difference. But if we want to change the world, we need to look at ourselves as channels, open, so we can channel energy into the world, as opposed to a closed channel where we're very limited in what we can do. And that channel, that's our desire. So to every tool we potentially have to assist us in manifesting who we really are is there to assist us in making the world a better place. Change yourself, change the world. It's as simple as that. Okay, keep going, Ellen.
When they are united, the 42 letters to give plenty, they go up with its letters to Binah, where they are first revealed, and go down to Zeir Anpin and make themselves in it into crowns to the 4 directions, which are Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, and Malchut, up to the chest, the secret of the 3 columns in Malchut, which receives them.
Okay, so as I was explaining, this is the explanation of what we call the tree of life, the 10 Sfirot, the HVAC system for your reality and mine. And the more we understand, so why is it necessary to understand that? Look, I can go over to the thermostat. If it's too hot, I just change the temperature setting. If it's too cold, again, I just change the temperature setting. That's how the HVAC system works in where we live and where we work. Okay, but the HVAC system for reality, the channel of blessings, is the tree of life. Bringing things from fulfillment, from potential into fulfillment. The ductwork is hidden behind the walls. It's a secret. It's at the level of sod. But step 1 in every 12-step program is I understand that there's a system. That's something I'm working with. So where's the thermostat for our reality? Well, one of them is connecting to the 42-letter name. There are multiple. Go ahead.
Thus, it may exist, namely to receive these mochim from Binah that exists through them.
Okay. 265. Levatar nafku advan uvaru alma le'ela v'tata ba'alma l'dichuda v'alma difruda v'itkurun hare bater turi difiruda de mishtak yan kad sitra de darom shari lekarva b'hadeh u'choden maya nagdin uv'chela da de ela nagid kolahu b'chedu.
Then these letters depart from the name of 42 within Pin and create the world.
So that's how they are a part of the foundational aspect of the creator and when we of the reality. And when we connect to that, it's available to us. So when we connect to that, we are making a direct connection to the realm of fulfillment, the flawless universe. Yes. Keep going.
Malchut, above and below, the world of Pin, create the world. Malchut, above and below, the world of unity and the world of division.
So this is what I was referring to before. In the upper realm, everything's one. It's all united. Everything's connected. There are no time delays. There's no time space distinctions. It's all there and available. Hard for us to wrap our head around because we live in a world of division, fragmentation. Flawless universe, fragmented universe, chaotic universe. Two worlds. This one, though, ours is the illusion. Go ahead.
They are then called mountains of separation. These mountains of separation are watered when the south, right side, approaches the left side and water flows. Drawn by the power of above in Pin, then all is in rejoicing.
So is it really water? Well, it's a metaphor. It's an energy flow. And this is, by the way, this is the significance of water for us. Water is a cleansing. Water from a metaphysical standpoint is an agent of cleansing. But water is also used to describe all this energy that is available to us through the upper realm. And how is it available to us? It's available to us. This is not literature. This is a delivery system for the energy of the upper realm. The Zohar specifically, the Bible, the Torah, additionally, all the holy writings are specific delivery systems for energy from the upper realm. Each individual letter of the 22 letters is. Every letter combination is a different cocktail of energy from the upper realm. Energies of protection, energies of healing. And specific to the 42 letter name, it's energy that our world is engraved in that can't exist without it. And our ability to connect to it creates all this unity. And with unity, there is peace and understanding and healing. And that's the opportunity we have to awaken to today. So we're out of time. Love you all. Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for joining.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Have a good weekend.
Shabbat shalom. Thanks.